What's good, y'all? So this is just another informal video. I plan on summarizing them in a nice, like organized thought type of video. But for this one, I just wanted to go through and read my notes on the things I was experiencing with my body and some other things while I was doing my fast. I originally set up for a 40-day fast, so that's where my mindset was when I was doing this. But with work and that type of stuff, it's like it demanded a little bit too much than I was able to put out. So I was like, okay, hold up, let me just reschedule this. Let's reschedule this challenge. So I curbed it at like 7 days, and here are my notes. So if this is something that interests you, feel free to listen. If this is something that's boring to you, it's not going to get too much past this, So here we go. Day one, I noticed I had random cravings, mainly when I was bored. Oftentimes we bored eat. Like if you're watching a specific show or if you're watching a movie or something, you always want to grab a snack while you watch it. So that's kind of like the association I was able to notice in my brain. And I was starting to try to busy myself more because I've done some long-term fasts before. So I was like, okay, it's very important to busy yourself, keep moving, keep doing something. So what I did was like, I started my Discord channel for like to supplement my YouTube channel. It's like, don't get me wrong, it's going to be predominantly guys in there, ladies, but you're always welcome to join. Hopefully the people in there treat you nicely with respect, but nevertheless, it's like it's my semen retention, it's about spirituality, motivation, whatever. It's still up and coming, but hey, whatever. But that's something I started during this. And then while I was up there, I wrote down a note. Shout out to Thomas. It was like, who you are. Like I chatted with you up there the first day I made the Discord channel, I think. Within the first couple of days we chatted, and that was awesome. It was really, we learned a lot about each other. That was cool. And then I talked about how I moved my banjo into my room. It's like I have a bunch of instruments I don't play, so I just thought if I move them closer to me, I'd be more likely to tinker with them. Whatever. Day two, I was noticing that I was like having a whole bunch of air burps. Like it was just I was burping, but obviously I haven't eaten anything, so I guess it's just air exiting somehow, some way. What I noticed was a little bit more clear focus in the morning, and it was easier to wake up. So I usually wake up very early. I wake up at like 4, and sometimes I sleep in. I can't even lie, like 4 and 5 o'clock. But nevertheless, it's like I'm an early riser. So what I noticed was when I started to make my teas, like I knew that fennel seed is something that's really good to curb your appetite. So if you add that to your teas, I'm getting thirsty. But if you add that to your teas, hopefully that helps you like get, prolong the hunger cravings, as if you keep on supplementing yourself with that. But I noticed I wanted to be outside a lot, and that was really cool. It's like, okay, if you're not going to eat, it was like, well, I need to go eat something, so I'm going to go eat the sunlight. So let's go outside, let's get some fresh air. I guess sometime throughout the day, I wrote down still more focused, like on whatever it is I needed to do. I just tunnel visioned on that, and I just knocked it out. I noticed that I was able to, I really made a mental note to conserve energy, because sometimes like you feel a lot more clear, you feel lighter. So you want to like run around and move around. But if you're trying to go for a long-term fast, which is what, I had the mindset of completing, at the time, then it's like very important that you just learn to pace yourself, control your energy, engage it. If you think you can go for a walk, go for a walk. If you want to just sit out in the sun one day, then do that, just ease your way into it. I wanted to like let's see, more stretching and more massaging, like getting all like the knots out of my muscles and stuff, like keeping the blood flowing while I'm not eating, all that type of stuff. The ear ringing is something I always notice while I'm fasting. Now, medical people can be like, oh, that means you have and then your blood sugar. It's like, okay, that's nice. It's like when I fast, it's for spiritual reasons, and it's the exact same thing that I get when I have a really deep meditation and stuff like that. So I love walking around in that state because I just feel more connected with things. And what I said, I wrote down a note of I noticed an appetite spike around 4 or 5 p.m. typically when I eat my dinner. And it's like I wanted to snack when watching certain videos or certain channels on YouTube because that's typically what I would do. This is it. So okay, I'm gonna grab a snack. This is about 20, 30 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna grab me a little snack, bada bing, bada boom. So like I was noticing the habit my body was in when it came to food. So day 3, I noticed it was harder to wake up. My body felt like it was having almost like a temper tantrum. And what I mean by that, I was like, yo, where's my food? Where's my food? And it was like making everything like hurt. And it was like causing a big uproar. It's like, come on. Like, like when you're just like, yo, god damn, come on. But then it's like what I've learned from other fasts is you just have to push through that. When you see it as a tantrum, then you don't worry about it too much, you know? It'll just pass on by. All right. So yeah, so let's see, where was I at? It felt like they was having a tantrum. But then I had a mental conversation with myself when I was going through like these withdrawal symptoms. I was like, this is what happens when the body is in control. It's like it gets mad at you when you don't let it keep continuing to put that BS in your body. It's like when it doesn't let you keep feeling itself with that type of stuff, it gets mad. That's what happens when your body's in control. And that's why it's really good to go on these types of fasts, maybe not even a week, maybe these 2 or 3 days, and be like, okay, wait a minute. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna not eat as much or something like that. To hopefully curb this craving for food. Anyway, this is like a TMI one, but this is just the notes. Whereas like you just have like a watery poop, like when there ain't nothing else left in your system and all you've been drinking is water. It's like you just get that last little like bleh. Like it's gross, but science. These are observations. If you keep censoring out stuff, that's how people get misinformation. So you get it raw with me. Here you go. Let's see. But yeah, I wrote down that overall my body feels really heavy in the morning. Like it's almost like your body has to get used to not having all that fuel constantly supplying it. It's like, okay, wait, now we actually have to ration. Okay, here we go. And it almost takes like a day for that to actually start to kick in. But I did, these were all of my observations before I put anything in my body. No water, no tea. But then I wrote down this. So like for my tea breakfast, what I was doing was I was just mixing random herbs. I was just, okay, that looks good. That sounds good. That sounds good. Okay. So for my tea breakfast, that what I called it, was plantain, fennel seed, faux tie root, and burdock root. And some of them is just like nutrition. I know plantain is for nutrition. Fennel seed was to curb the hunger. Faux tie, I forgot. In all honesty, I forgot what that did, but I think it had something to do with hair. That's why I originally liked it. Burdock root is like one of the things that goes like with like bladderwrack, burdock root, like sea moss is kind of like that trifecta. So I just put that in there for just nutrition type of things. I wrote down that for 1 gallon, like I got this from Brother Yosef, the 20 drops of trace mineral drops. That's something I got from him. I added chlorophyll drops, and I also added some kelp, liquid kelp drops. So that's what we saw in some of my videos with like my green jug. But then I noticed that I had heavier breathing when doing simple tasks. But when I got started doing whatever I had to do, like all the fasting and all the thinking about my body kind of disappeared, and that's all I wrote for day 3. Day 4. I noticed that it's still very easy to wake up in the morning. Like when the alarm goes up, I'm up. The body calms down after a swig of water. See, my handwriting's terrible. But the body calms down after I get a swig of water. So like when I get that nice little refreshing, that morning flush in the morning, that's what it feels really good. But on day 4, I noticed a little less lethargy, a little less lethargic. But it does take a minute to get the body going. That's something that I noticed with myself. But otherwise, like I had really clear thinking, clear thoughts, and I had like higher level dreams. I woke up like having felt like I got like a supreme download, but I was like, okay, the raw data is still computing, but I know I was just in like a crazy class just now. I was getting like a crazy download like that, and I was having a lot more of those throughout even like the day, like a quick meditation, like a 5-minute, 10-minute meditation. Like I would just find a moment, just be quiet with myself, and it just felt like I just tapped into something a lot quicker. Let's see, and then I got like this pineal gland tea, and it's like a mixture of herbs, and I thought I wrote them down, but clearly I didn't. But it's like a tea recipe that I got from Layla Africa. It's like the pineal gland that's supposed to nourish the pineal gland, and I had that around 10:45. Let's see. What noted was when the food addiction is broken, your mind is very clear. What I was noticing once again was how many times I was thinking about food. Like, especially with me doing all this research and all this type of stuff, I'm still finding myself thinking about wanting to eat like a bag of Skittles, a Snickers. I'd be like, why do I want this? I don't even eat this when I have the availability to eat. Why am I doing this now? because your body is just says, yo, give me something. I need food. I need food. Like your body's pretty much scratching at itself. Like, yo, come on, man. Yo, just give me a bite. Just give me a corner of a Butterfinger, bro. That's all I need. That's what it's like, though. That's the food addiction that most of the world is under. That's the sugar addiction that most of the world is like attributed to right now. Someone close to me, just had like an operation or whatever, and all they wanted was a soda. Why do you want a soda? You should be wanting everything in your body that's going to heal you, not just, favor your taste buds. That was something that really hit home. I was like, wow, even in this state, this is the level of addiction that we have in our society. But anyway, staying on topic, ish. When the food addiction is broken, your mind is very clear. Very true. I noticed I required less sleep, and I noticed that even the food cravings for food on this day weren't too bad. It almost felt like they were diminishing. And I ended the day not really hungry at all, and I noticed that I was able to down like a gallon of water very, very easily. Day 5, I wrote down it was super easy to wake up. Super easy to wake up. Very motivated, feeling very creative, which is like why that one day I made like a solid 10 videos. Don't get me wrong, it kept me busy, but motivating y'all motivated me to keep on going. So that was pretty cool that I was able to use this to fuel that, ironically, right? And then let's see, like I supplemented with like the sea moss, bladderwrack, and burdock root powder stuff. So like I was also running a little mini experiment, but it said I literally didn't have to wash my face. Like don't get me wrong, out of habit, I still did, but I woke up, there was no sleep in my eye. There was like never like if you get those slime and stuff, that's all mucus coming out of your body in different ways. It just crusts up on your eye, and you think that's just, it's just sleep. That's just whatever you call it. That's just eye boogers, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, think about that. That's like a mucus that just came out of your eyeball. And you're giving your body a rest from like filtering stuff out like that. That's how gross our body is, but that's how gross we make it because of what we put in it. But I digress. Where was I? So I didn't have to wash my face. Let's see. I actually there's a point where I didn't even want the tea. I just wanted like just straight up water. But eventually, like at some point, like around lunchtime, like I made myself some lavender, peppermint, and blue lotus leaf tea. And I was just like sticking with like the blues, the purples, the greens, high vibratory, stuff like that. And I think I went through the grocery store because this is when I was traveling. This is the first day I was traveling, so I went to the grocery store and I was just loading up on water and prepper meals just in case. You never know. You guys should all have survival food in your houses, whether you think everything is good, whether things might get dire. At least be prepared for all situations. So that's pretty much what I was doing, but when I was walking through, like most of the stuff didn't even look like food to me. It didn't even look interesting to me. I was just like, yo, I don't need this. It's like none of this, I know what's in half of this stuff. I don't need it. But one of the things that did catch my eye though was some plantain chips. Like I saw those, I was like, now that looks good. And I was thinking about those. My mind, I can't even lie, my mind fixated on those for the entire night until I meditated. It was serious. I wanted some plantain chips. Let's see. Day 6, it was really easy to wake up. Once again, like I guess it's like if it's so-called primal nature, it's like, okay, I'm hungry. I better put in some overtime to go find some food or things are about to get dire. Whatever it is. But it was super easy to wake up. I had a steady state of energy and not really any hunger, but like the ears were really ringing, and throughout the day though, I did start to notice that I had some more light food cravings. But I didn't think about like food that much. It was just every once in a while I was like, dang, man, like a donut would sound good or something like that. Like I remember that day. And then let's see, and then like no need to poop. If there's nothing in your system, that's what I wrote. So it's like you don't poop anymore. You're not giving off that solid waste, which is kind of like a theory that I've been working on. Like your body should be like a renewable resources. That means it doesn't give off any waste. There's no wasted byproduct. When the way that we eat food and we take these poops where we get so backed up that we can't even poop and we're holding on to that waste. That's waste being generated by our actions. That means there has to be a more efficient way to nourish our body to minimize the waste. That's just how we probably should be. That's why I'm like seeing a lot more of that breatharian lifestyle making sense, but not that's a different story for a different time. So the last day, it's like you can almost see like everything was stable until like this last day. It was just like, because what I didn't write down in here was, excuse me, that like I had traveled and I was working. So like where I was at, I was in like this like I was in the Space Force base, and it was like this old building that was just set for demolition and all this type of stuff. And like the place was dingy. It was like crazy cold the first 2 days. Like our fingers were freezing when we were writing down our notes. You know, like the lights are like have a sound, like, and it's literally like a training facility, you know, for them to run drills. Like, and to me and my hippy dippiness, I'm like, I'm in a place where they're training to kill people. You know, they're training the most effective way to go kill people and then be prepared for a threat and all that type of stuff. It was one of those like psychological things I was trying to tune out, but that also did play a big factor in this. So the workload plus being in this crazy place in this crappy environment plus like going on a like extended fast, it was a bad combination. So that kind of all went into day 7, where it looks like the thing in what's that movie Inception, like the little spinny top thing, like it just wobbled at the end. That's it. That's what this feels like. But anyway, super restless like when I was going to bed, you know, but I had so many ideas that were just like funneling to me. Like, I mean, I could not sleep. I would just lay in the bed and like be wide awake, but then I would close my eyes and I would just get a video idea. Roll over, turn the lamp on, write it down, try to go back to sleep. I did this for an entire page. I have like a full page of like 20 ideas of just videos. I'm like, these are all individual videos I could talk about. Oh my God, I could do that. I could share something about that. I could do that. Like that happened all throughout the night. I think I got like 2 or 3 hours of sleep. You know, what I noticed too is like when my body is like super exhausted, you know, it's like that weird thing when you like super exert your body is restless at the end of the night. And I never understood why that happens, but that happens to me from time to time. I don't know if that makes me weird or if that's normal, but nevertheless. Let's see. Okay, so I woke up and my body was extra slow. You know, because I think like the toll from work was like, you know, like it was like paying a toll on my body. Very important to wake up very important to wake up early to get my body moving, because it took a long time to get my body running. You know, I was waking up earlier and earlier because I needed more time to just like get into that swing. And then I was like, okay, I'm good. But like it started to get harder and harder and harder. And I was just like, yo, I gotta lay back down for a few minutes. Oh man, blah blah blah. But one of the things I noticed was like my skin was extremely smooth. Like it felt like baby soft. Like I was like, yo, like that's crazy. Super smooth skin. There was no need to brush your teeth, because like it just felt like my teeth were just as smooth every single day. And I was also drinking the chlorophyll water and stuff every single day, which is a natural deodorizer. So that was something I was able to notice. But I did notice that the mental doubts were really heavy that morning. You know, like, oh man, I don't think I can do this. So I don't think I can do blah, 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 blah. But like when I just noticed myself, like I was just borderline falling out. Like I was like almost feeling like I was about to fall out at work. I was like, okay, all right, now I'm about to fall out. This is different. There's a difference between being mentally weak and you about to fall out at work. We ain't got time for all that insurance and then medical checkups and we ain't got time for all that. So I was like, you know what? We're going to call it quits there. And like I went back to it. And that's when I pivoted back over to my experiment about like just jolting your body back into the way that you've typically been eating things. That's when I went on that little bit of a rant. But yo, what are we doing to our bodies? You know, this was a very fun experiment. And maybe after this, maybe sometime in the near future, I'm just going to summarize this into one big old video. But those were my raw notes. You know, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you had any similar experiences, whatever. Yeah, hope you enjoyed that. To the next one.